Purchase a clear accordion binder and put your schedule under the first flap, she said. That way, when you are lost, and I can promise you will be at one time in your life, you can glance at your schedule and people won't think that you're a freshman. In 8th grade, my science teacher gave me these words as her how to survive in high school advice. It was simple, I thought. Don't act like a freshman, don't look like a freshman, and you'll be successful. So, on the first day I came to school, backpacked crammed with books and binders, and in my hand, the clear accordion one. I made it through 3 periods unscathed. Her plan was working. But then came something so obvious it hit me square in the face. It was Brian Lasday's hip bone. Turning from F Hall into E Hall, I made a rookie mistake, taking a sharp turn into the busiest intersection of the school. With the help of his senior varsity athlete frame and the weight of my backpack, I was sent flying onto my back. On top of that, my binder opened mid-air, exposing my color-coordinated schedule. Not only was my tailbone throbbing and my dignity instantaneously shot, but I also had the heat of 70 eyes gazing down on me. So much for the don't look like a freshman plan. I share this story not because it's fun to laugh at a 5-foot, 103-pound freshman sent abruptly to his butt in the middle of the hall, but because it is a landmark. It is the start of the journey toward identity to which all graduates can relate. In history class, we have learned that you cannot know who you are without knowing from where you have come. The same applies to this journey. We can only be who we are by understanding how we have gotten to this point. For some, getting to this point meant scoring a game-winning touchdown. For others, it meant practicing for hours to nail that monologue or that solo. And for others still, it meant countless hours of homework, tears of frustration, and stray erasure marks. As with all things in life, there is an inescapable duality. There is the bad, the freshman year homecoming dance on a cold October night where a 5-minute moment of silence was held for 2 souls that had departed the Deerfield community far too early, where we were all asked to sit down, bow our heads, and linger in the tragic meanwhile of potential loss. But there is also the good. Picture the same moment, where student bodies sat together, cried together, and breathed together as one, a coming together like we had never experienced. When the moment was up, I reached out to a broken senior girl I did not know and gave her a hug. I cannot tell you her name, but I can tell you that as we stood together, our breathing like a gentle ebb and flow, we grew stronger, closer. Her life, that momentarily lay shattered before her, was being gathered up shard by shard. How magnificent that something so tragic and something so touching and indescribably human could coexist at the same time. It was during that embrace I learned something. In that crowd forever lives an awesome connectedness that provides support and an unlikely hug when it is most needed. We must remember that this potential is always with us, whether it comes during a pink out at a basketball game or a standing ovation at a musical, or even next year when we are all in our respective quads and momentarily think of our friends. There is the possibility for an unspoken support that we can always feel if we ever need it. One thing that I cherish most about my experience at DHS is that it has undoubtedly been my guide in my journey toward identity. There have been influential teachers who can never receive enough praise and thanks, and there has been the constant support of parents. Both parents and teachers have been the catalyst in our journeys. I can easily trace my growth because of high school. As a freshman, I was obsessed with grades. It did not matter so much what I was learning, but rather that it said A on my report card. Junior year, I was obsessed with my image inside and outside the classroom. Inside, I worried about whether people saw me as a redeeming member of the classroom. Outside, I was struggling with embracing my nerdy tendencies. Finally, senior year was a big year of maturation for me. Let me call your attention to another possibly embarrassing story to showcase the progress in my journey toward identity. For those who don't know me, I love to sleep. The highlight of most nights is closing my books, turning off my lights, and sinking into bed. Usually, this comes late, around 2:30 at night. One night earlier this year, I finished my homework at a record time, 5 in the afternoon. Excited that I would not only get to bed early, but that I would be able to run some errands, I scooped up my wallet and drove to Office Max in need of a new calculator. There, I purchased the TI-89 Titanium Edition. For the few in the audience who aren't calculator connoisseurs, the TI-89 Titanium is the